Black Mesa State Park, Oklahoma. We're ready to go to the Highpoint of Oklahoma, a 4.2 mile one way and then back, making about 8.5 mile hike. Beautiful scenery here. June 22nd. Alright, let's go. 5:30 in the morning. Sun's just coming up. It's absolutely amazing landscape here. So we just passed the 1 mile marker. There's a little bench there. 6 a.m. I think I said before June 22nd, it's June 23rd. Sun bench here, just a little over a mile in. Became a preserve in 1959. Highest point 4,973 feet. And this used to be no man's land around Santa Fe Trail. My son Josh. He's more of a force hiker. Gorgeous. And while I'm here, I was supposed to do this before, but there's a shout out to one of my students, Kayla. Here's your shout out. And hike continues. So I don't know if I said before, but this is going to be high point number 31 for me, number 21 for Josh. And hopefully later in today, our plan is to go to the tri-state point of Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado. It's only like 5 miles or so from the trailhead. And then up to Mount Sunflower, which is in a field in western Kansas, for High Point of Kansas today. Followed up with Nebraska the next day, Mount Rushmore, Black Elk Peak in Sorth Dakota the following day, and see where we get North Dakota in there before returning back to West Virginia, which looks nothing like this. It's spectacular. Of course, West Virginia is also a much different way. It's windy. You're gonna get windier, supposedly. So we passed a 2-mile bench a little bit back. Now they have this little solid here, very nice. And you can see the climb's about to begin. Whoopee! Here we go. Almost to the top. Here's the rim. Volcanic rock over. I think this used to be a lava field, I guess, where a volcano out in New Mexico way, like 5 million years ago or something like that. Here we go. Reach the top. Rocky walk up. It's an incline going up here. It's not too steep, but it's definitely a little bit of an incline. And Highpoint coming up. Alright, and we've made it to the top of a very windy Oklahoma. A bench over here, cactus. Can't Texas, 53 miles northeast of here. We're 31 miles from Texas to the south. To the west, we're 1,299 feet from New Mexico. You can see that at all? I don't think so. Colorado, 4.7 miles. Beautiful. Found this inside the thing. Happy Trails Backpacking. Join the adventure. You're so inclined. Have to check that out. About to go downhill again. Views are just spectacular. Rocky trail. 3 miles to go, Pink. My old arthritic knees do much better at going up than down. There. Same one here. Take a little rest my knee. First aid kit, some water here. Also, okay, go ahead and get down there. Sun's out, the wind's almost stopped. And it's getting pretty hot out. Beautiful here. Alright, so 9:48 and only switching from mountain time to central time, but central time 9:48. We left at 6:25-ish. So about 3 hours, 20 minutes. Went some mosey around. Took more breaks on the way back. It got a lot hotter out. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. And one note, there's mile marker benches. That first bench is way more than a mile. FYI. All right, on to the next. Alright, so a very short ride up from the parking lot of the Black Mesa Highpoint. We have the tri-point of Colorado, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. And this is actually my first time in either Colorado or New Mexico. Colorado on this side, New Mexico over here. What I think of New Mexico, this is what I think of, not of Colorado, Oklahoma. All right, off to Mount Sunflower in Kansas. Highpoint, Kansas, Mount Sunflower. Library over there. A lot of dirt roads we had come in on. Google tried making us lost. Oh yes, got alcohol things in here for some reason. Look at that. Whew. Library. Here at Mount Sunflower Top, Kansas. Okay, after some horrible directions from Google Maps yesterday and a thunderstorm coming in, it's now morning of the 24th. We made it to the high point of Nebraska after spending the night in Pine Bluffs, Wyoming, not too far. And see up the grass, bison area, vehicle traffic only. Highest point in Nebraska is located in Kimball County on the Colorado-Wyoming border. Alright, there we go. We have to go drive down there. See how it is. Alright, so we made it to the high point. And we have bison out in the field down there. Here's the high point. Elevation 5,424, highest point in Nebraska. Table, high pointers bench. Nice. Windmills. Windy and kind of chilly out, actually. Interesting things you find in these. Alright, there you go. Nebraska High Point. Mount Rushmore from the entrance. Here we have Mount Rushmore behind us. Alright, this is kind of the best view we can get of Mount Rushmore today. For a week it's closed, the presidential trail, which goes closer by, because there are people working on Jefferson's Head up there. They closed the trail. It's like Custer State Park wildlife loop. Just has some donkeys we were feeding. There was a prairie dog, and here's some buffalo. Prairie dogs. Sylvan Lake, and we're about to hike up to the highest point in South Dakota. It is June 25th. It's about 50 degrees right now. Cold. There's forecast for rain showers off and on. On Trail 9. Black Elk Peak. Let's go. So it begins nice and wide. Pine forest. You can keep going if you want. Or look. Ooh. Wow. Wow. Beautiful. The views up here are stunning. Rocky. Beautiful views here, and from here we can see summit Black Elk Peak. Alright, been climbing up. We've hit the intersection of Trail 4 here. And I can't see the tower from here. Hopefully it's not too much farther. Kind of cold out. Woodpecker in there somewhere. All right, we've been going and going. We can see our summit up there. Kind of foggy around. Oh. Go up there, a little lookout in the fog. Getting windy and cold. All right, we'll continue up. Woo, baby. Made it. High point number 34. Top of Sorth Dakota. Views of the fog. Wow. Holy cow. What a hike. Amazing views coming up before the fog rolled in. I made it inside the tower. The wind is blowing probably about 40 degrees, if that. Sweating and freezing at the same time. (7,242 feet). Highest point east of the Rocky Mountains and west of the Pyrenees Mountains in Europe. And no views. So you can climb up a little bit further and continue sighting the fog. Lookout tower here. Little platform made. Oh, look at that. What you can see is amazing. Man. Let's watch someone else's video for the spectacular views up here. Absolutely amazing. What a hike. All right. And we gotta go back down. And North Dakota probably tomorrow morning. There's a chance I do it tonight. Nice. Number 34. Love it. come down probably about an hour now. 45 minutes an hour. Wind's gone. Temperature is much better. Probably in the 50s now or something. We got a little uphill here. Amazing views. On the way back, we're at the spot now where we can see the tower way up there. It was pretty daunting to see it on the way up, but it feels pretty good to see it now on the way back. And we did it. Here we are back at Sylvan Lake, finishing our high point of Sorth Dakota. Absolutely amazing hike. And we started at 6:55 and it's now 11:02. I go slow downhill, so about 4 hours. White Butte, Highpoint of North Dakota. Alright, White Butte, Highpoint of North Dakota. We got a high pointer's bench, a little parking lot here. (3,506 feet. Butte is part of the Dakota Hogback Formation. Congrats on conquering White Butte. We'll see. Please proceed south uphill along the trail to the summit. Watch for rattlesnakes. Going up. Almost there. Top of North Dakota.